talking to a gentleman called Kevin. He's from Lionheart Paranormal Investigators. Hello, Kevin.
Hello, I'm Glynn.
Hiya. Now, tell us how you first got involved in the paranormal.
Yeah, when I was about 12 or 13, I was visiting my dad in hospital, and I went down to the first floor while I was visiting to go and get like a drink and some sweets. And when I came out the lift on the first floor, there was like a shadowy figure in front of me. Now, being such a kid, I screamed and ran back in the lift and went back upstairs, but on further investigation, my dad looked into it for me, and he turned around and he was saying that the nurses told him that used to be the old, I think it was the old intensive care unit, and people have actually seen that before, so it made me more relaxed, if you know what I mean, because I was still scared. I still wouldn't get off it. I think even till this day, I'm still a bit dubious, you know what I mean? But yeah.
So that kind of sparked an interest, but when did you really develop an interest in the paranormal? What was the impetus that gave you? I mean, why did you decide to sort of investigate paranormal experiences?
I've always been interested in the paranormal, and it's probably my dad's fault as well, because he's always been into the unexplained and stuff, but I think the first time I really got into it was, I went on a couple of other tours, similar things in Liverpool, and I was looking into the stories, and I realised that the stories weren't what they seemed, and I investigated them myself. That's where it stemmed from, and then I went further and further.
So you investigated like stories that are like the legends of Liverpool kind of thing.
Yeah,
you investigated those.
Yeah, like the most famous ones in Liverpool.
As regards like investigating things yourself, you do tours with Lionheart. You do ghosty type tours.
Yeah.
So tell us what's your most interesting experience. What was the most interesting tour you did?
What we done it wasn't a tour, so to speak. It was like for friends and family on the 23rd of June this year. Now that was the super full moon, and we went down with the psychic, and they believe that it's when spirits are most likely to manifest, as well as Halloween. And we went down and it was an amazing experience. I mean, we were, at one point, the psychic was talking to a gentleman who was a resurrection man. Now this is a spirit, and just before he was speaking to him, the temperature dropped, and we had like ringing in our ears, and all the cars that you could hear normally going behind the back of St James's, you couldn't hear nothing. It just went, it was really calming and really surreal. Then after a couple of minutes it snapped out, and the medium said he was just about, he was going to manifest here.
So for people who live on the Wirral who probably don't know where this St James's Park is, just explain to us for our benefit.
Yeah, it's next to the Anglican Cathedral. It used to be an old quarry, and then it was a public gardens, and then it was a cemetery, and now it's back to a public gardens again. It's just off James Street.
Hence the reason it's called James's
Place. Yeah, it's next to the Anglican looks down on it. If you go down, it's like its big brother or something standing there looking over it as if to say, like, I'll protect you.
So although they stopped using it as a cemetery and it was turned into a public park, the actual bodies are still buried in that ground.
Oh yeah, there's over 58,000. Not only in the ground, they're in the walls as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Because what used to happen was, unfortunately, if you were poor, you used to get put anywhere. But say there was a case of a woman. She had 5 kids. Now 4 of the 5 died through whatever and other illnesses, and unfortunately the 5th died. Now the 4 were all buried in St James's, and she went down with the 5th to bury them all together in the family plot. And when the plot got opened, the kids had disappeared. There was an unknown male skeleton inside her plot, and she was obviously shocked. But what it worked out was they dug the bodies up, entombed them and put them in the wall to make room for new bodies, which is shocking really if that happened today. You know what I mean? Imagine
yeah, that's right. Yeah, you go into the wrong place to put flowers and things, aren't you?
Family plot as well.
Yeah,
I think it was for her husband, and then 4 of the kids had died unfortunately. But when the 5th one died, that's when she found that they'd disappeared.
When you went on this ghost hunt on the 23rd of June, which was, as you say, the super full moon, that is a time when the spirit world and the living world are at their closest.
Yeah, it's the same as with Halloween. At that time, it's when they say you can see the unseen from the seen, if that makes sense. It's when, like, a spirit and ghosts are going to manifest. They feed off energy. Now, they'll feed off your energy, my energy, the energy of the equipment, and the energy of the sun, and the energy of the... It's weird to explain, but if it's a full moon, it's more likely as well, because they'll draw off that energy in order to manifest. That's why when we've done past like explorations of it, people's torches have gone dead, and they've only just put batteries in, or people's phones have died, And they're like, hang on a minute, it's only just been charged. But what they do is they feed off your electricity. I mean, if you go on a really serious one, like if you're going to do it, like, it's hard to explain, but the next day you're drained. Because they do feed off you as well. So the next day you'll know if you've seen something as well, and it manifested, the next day you're totally drained.
So it's like it's not so much you're physically drained; it's actually your electricity the energy that you produce has been drained.
Yeah, it's like you're a battery. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just suck all the life out of you. If there's nothing else to take, they'll take the energy off you.
So explain to us a little bit. I mean, obviously the kids all celebrate Halloween. It's like an American institution that's come over here, isn't it? But I mean, Halloween goes back a long, long way to pagan times, doesn't it?
Well, actually, Halloween predates Christianity, which is mad to say. But that's how long it's been going. It's a Wiccan tradition as well. It's Celtic. It's that many different cultures have their own version on it. But where we look at it from a Wiccan point of view, it's a day to celebrate the dead. It's not a day to be scared or when all the souls walk the earth. It's a day you're honour your ancestors who've died and they come back to see you, kind of thing. But with it being that, obviously that's why they say you'll see ghosts and you're more likely to, because they're all coming back. You know what I mean? Not everyone knows everyone, do they?
As I say, the wall that separates the two worlds on Halloween and on a particularly high full moon, that wall is at like its thinnest, is it?
On Halloween, yeah, and on, as we said, the super full moon. But it's weird to say. It's all about the electrical presence as well. They need to feed off your energy, but in Wiccan beliefs and paganism and stuff like that, Halloween is when like the two worlds are at its thinnest, the veil between them. So it's when, I don't know whether we can cross over their side, but they can certainly cross over ours.
You mentioned about the energy that they draw off from things like even torches or phones, but also from people. Now, is there any way that you can measure these? Now, you have these instruments, don't you, to measure this energy? Yeah,
we use EMF meters, which measure like the magnetic field and the electric field. So if you conduct an investigation and your phone's off and you've got the EMF in place, it shouldn't go off. But if there's something going to manifest or there's something there, it'll spike and it'll light up, it'll give you a warning. And that's when you want to try and snap your picture or have a good look, because it's normally around them times when it spikes. If you get your picture quick enough, you will see.
So what kind of things, on a picture, what kind of things would you see?
Well, we've got pictures of what's been sent to us. There's countless orbs.
We just need to explain what they are for people. Orbs, that's ORBS.
ORBS, yeah. And there's all different forms of orbs. And to me, they're a spirit of a person. Now, they can show in different ways. They can, like a clean orb, I call it. It looks like, say, how can you say it? Like a football, just a straight circle. That's somebody, I believe, who's passed a while back. But the more like flary around the edge of the orb, that's the closer that they've died, if you know what I mean. Because we've seen one, and it looked like a total eclipse. And when we looked into it, the psychic was saying that's someone who's just passed.
When you see the orbs, you mentioned that they can be seen in photographs, but you can also see them yourself. But is that as the spirit is in the process of forming into like not a being, but
like an apparition kind of thing?
Yeah, an apparition. Yeah.
Because what they can do is, it's funny to say it, but it can just be a spirit passing, just going from one place to another, or it's just there by chance.